I literally had such a disaster with the Wi-Fi this morning, and I decided to do another one today because I think the connection was so awful that it just keeps coming in and out, and apparently my face was keep freezing, and it was quite frustrating for people to ask questions, so I decided to do another one. And I think it's definitely to do with the connection. So I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can. I'm really sorry about this morning, by the way. And I tried a different time now. It's 4 o'clock. I had a really awful. I think it's all the neighborhoods trying to do homeschooling, and everybody's working and children are at home, and I think it's just recipe for disaster. So I'm trying now 4 o'clock and see if it's any better. I'm going to keep trying to do different time to see what's going to be the best connection out there. So I'm going to talk about anything that you guys want me to talk about in terms of aesthetics. This morning I talked about skin boosters and to use them in this area, in droopy mouth corners, and I wasn't sure. I was quite nervous actually, because I wasn't sure if I've never done an Insta live by myself. I've had interaction of somebody else, so I was just kind of I was way out of my comfort zone, but now I feel much better. It's all about practice, isn't it? So yes, I talked about skin boosters and to use them for lower face. I have had amazing results within the lower face in terms of treatment of droopy mouth corners. It's one of my favorite areas to treat. Oh, you're so lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, it's one of my really is one of my favorite areas, because I think really this area, people always complain about jowls and how this is one of the things that you see in the mirror when lower face gets quite wobbly and quite jelly. I know mine does. The chin area start reducing in volume. You get those kind of bad texture, orange peely chin. You get quite a lot of, it's like a dimple, but you get that kind of a sausagey fold that you can see. And there is a different grades on skin boost, different grades of droopiness and jowls, but it's definitely something that you are aware of. Now, it's very difficult to treat the jowls, because once you have that fat, the volume loss in the face, it is very difficult to get that lift, and that lift it cannot be done with fillers. So you have to be kind of very wary of people who will tell you otherwise. The most efficient way to have a lift is to have surgical procedure, basically a facelift. Not everybody's keen, but when it comes to jowls, it's very difficult to treat the jowls, but we can hide them. We can definitely we can improve other areas of the face, and it will distract you from seeing signs of aging. Where we are based in London, in Mayfair, and just opposite Selfridges. So I would say, would you say Profiler or Juvederm Volite is better? You can't really compare two products. It really depends it's for who, the age, the skin texture, and what is it you want from it. Profiler and Juvederm Volite, these things are more for treating the skin rather than a lift. A lift can be only achieved with fillers or surgery. So for me, this area, it's very important to treat in terms of, we can definitely disguise this area. We can treat the chin, make it more pointy, which would actually hide the jowls. Because when we age, chin becomes quite masculine, quite square. So having that heart shape, feminine structure, it actually reduced the illusion of the jowls. And also from the profile, from the side, it also hides the double chin. So yes, it's one of my favorite treatment, the droopy mouth. I think it's very important to be careful not having that treated with fillers. I think it can make the lower face looks quite bulky and quite masculine. So it's for me, using skin boosters here, it's something that you can have an amazing result. I have fillers, but I don't have Juvederm. I have other products in terms of fillers. Yes, Juvederm is not one of my favorite products, but I have worked with Juvederm before. Having the lower face, having the jowls treated, like I said, we can. It's always quite a good idea to distract from this area by improving other areas. I think having lips treated is one of those things that it can instantly take many years off you. This area can age. You can have, even if you had always have thin lips, the volume reduces, it becomes quite dry looking, it becomes quite old looking. So having them a little bit, not necessarily volumize them, but just making them a little bit more, I don't know, just giving them a little bit more life, I think it will make a huge difference in terms of reviving the lower face. I love treating the droopy mouth corner with Botox. I think that's also an area that it can be quite efficient with Botox. It can lift the corners quite nicely, but it's not for everybody. I had, and he's nervous about having. I mean, skin boosters for lips, I think, is an amazing idea. If you are quite worried about fillers, I think it could be a nice gateway. I think it could be a practice. It doesn't last as long as fillers, but it's definitely rejuvenate the lips. It doesn't volumize them, but it just makes them perky, glossy. I recommend fillers for the cheeks when you have quite a lot of volume loss, quite a lot of hollowness. People who exercise a lot, they could do with a little bit of lift. Recommend for fine lines over the lips. That again, to treat the lips, I think is a really good idea to do that first. And we can still, I love skin boosters for smokers' lines, for these lines. I think smokers' lines over the lip can actually age you, and I love using skin boosters for that area. I think I think it doesn't give you that bulky, monkey look, and I think it can look very smooth and amazing. I love doing that. So yes, for upper lip, skin boosters, definitely. You need 2 to 3 sessions with 3 weeks in between. So it does require a little bit of commitment, but it's definitely worth it. Skin boosters can be also used in crow's feet, which I love, because Botox, I think for me personally, it does take all the smile lines and I just don't like it. I think using skin boosters, you still have quite a lot of movements, which is quite nice. Profiler is a type, yes, is a type of skin boosters, definitely, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. I think Profiler, you have to be very careful and manage your expectations. So you need to be careful who you pick to have Profiler. Profiler is more like a facial. And it doesn't do what fillers do. It doesn't lift, it doesn't volumize, it just moisturizes your skin. And it's, I think also it suits people who already have had fillers. And I think together with that, it will really make a huge difference. But it's not for everybody. You really need to speak to your injector, make sure that you explain your expectations for it. I think it's a very, I think Profilo, everybody knows about it. You know, they made a lot of noise. So in terms of PR, it's, you know, everybody knows about Profilo. But again, I have seen amazing results, but I also have seen cases when people expected it to be something that it's not. So that's that. But I use Hydromax, which I love. Hydromax for droopy mouth corners. I see amazing result with that. So yes. Can I ask you guys if I am freezing now? Is it a good Wi-Fi? I would love to know your feedbacks, because I was not going to give up today. I was definitely going to do another one, because if I was going to save it, it keeps breaking and freezing and it was just not great. I think it's just the amount of people in my household who's actually doing homeschooling. So it was just crazy. Much better. Oh, great. Thank you. Hi Jojo, any questions? I will be delighted answering your questions. Anything you guys want to know, let me know. We talk about skin boosters, we talk about Botox, we talk about fillers, we talk about skincare, anything. Tell me, ask me. What boosters do you use again? I love Hydromax. Hydromax is my favorite, but we still use Profilo. We do other products. Sometimes for fine lines, I advise chemical peels, because that again can really it can make a huge difference. But it was so painful, have put me off. Well, I inject lip fillers with micro needles, which is Botox needles, and they are much, much less painful. I mean, it will sting, definitely, because it's, you know, it's injections in your lips. But I feel the needles, the standard needles, they are very painful. And it also depends who's injecting them, you know. It's important that you don't let that put you off, because I think it can be injected more gentle if it's injected with Botox fillers. Botox syringes, my God. I honestly felt like today I was losing my mind. I felt like, what am I doing? Like in the afternoon, I really don't have to do any homeschooling. So I just gave up on the afternoon, and I had a shower and I put some makeup on, and I decided that's it. I'm just going to meditate and not carry on with that for today. Thank God it's Friday. So it's also important, something that I spoke to about this morning. I felt that I needed to say that is a lot of Zoom meetings and a lot of online platform when we look at ourselves and we see ourselves. And I think it's important to remember that those angles are not real. There are shadows, there are those things, you know, what we see, that's not how we actually look like. So, you know, we actually look a lot worse on those platforms than we actually look in a real life. So when do you think you're open again? I mean, we do perform necessary treatment in London, but I think just for the safety and for the sake of what's going on at the moment, I decided that I'm just going to hold back and just wait for everybody to be okay, and just wait to see what next announcement will be. It's just a lot safer that way. Do you treat old looking hands? Oh my God, I love to treat hands. Again, Hydromax will look amazing. I sometimes use cannula, and I think the result you get with Hydromax, which is skin boosters, it can look amazing. You have tiniest little bit of fillers in there, so it lasts you between 6 to 8 months, but your hands will just look like a 19-year-old. It will look amazing. I feel like hands are those areas that it really makes you happy when it's treated, because it makes such a huge difference. And you forget to treat the hands, and once they're done, you think, oh, why did I not do that earlier? I mean, at the moment myself, I feel like I look at my hands and it's just, you know, you can't do your nails, and you can't, it's just, you know. But dark spots on hands, depends what grades they are and how bad they are, but there are some treatments that can be done. But I think having them rejuvenated and put skin boosters in them, it will make a huge difference. And again, it's about disguising them. It's not always, sometimes things cannot be treated, but you treat other areas, and that can give you a massive boost. Definitely. In terms of neck, is the same. Chest, I mean, we don't have really a lot of holidays to think about at the moment, but once the holiday season come back, I think, and the wedding season and all of that, and I think that's where things get really busy and people want to treat their chest and their neck, especially yeah. So that's something that Hydromax and skin boosters can make a huge difference. So yes, what is going to happen? What's going to happen is that we are going to be absolutely crazy busy. So I can't really, I mean, it's going to be the same as last time. It's important that we have a list and make sure everybody gets in before holidays, if we are going to on holidays and weddings and things going to come back on. So skin boosters, I would say between 6 months to 8 months. I think 6 months, you should get a really good 6 months out of it. Online consultation, yes, I do that. It's not my favorite because it's very difficult to see. You know, when phone moves or the connection is not great, and you know, we did a lot of that on last lockdown, but it wasn't my favorite because I felt like I couldn't really see what I wanted to see. But having to give that reassurance and chat, I think, you know, yes, definitely. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. I can't really guarantee my Wi-Fi will be great. It's just one of those things, really. It's the area that I live really in the middle of nowhere, and it's just never going to be okay. No, one session of skin boosters doesn't last 6 to 8 months. Skin boosters always come in a course of 2 to 3. Same with Profilo, same with Hydromax. Skin boosters you need to maintain, so it's 2 to 3 sessions with 3 weeks in between. one is not going to do anything. I mean, with droopy mouth corners and marionette lines, I think you will see the result after one, but it's a course of 2 or 3. Small eye bags, again, if you have under eyes, if you have fluid in them or fat deposit, then that's surgery. But sometimes if you're a good candidate, we can disguise them by treating the tear trough area. But really, it needs to be discussed and chatted about. Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you. My back is actually burning. I'm sitting just with the fire because it looks good, doesn't it? But it's really hot. I'm so glad that my Wi-Fi is good. And this morning I was just like, I realized that on my top I had like a huge yogurt stain, and I was like, holy shit, I've actually played that. Like I had the house, but my daughter said to me, it actually looks like it's a part of your shirt, mummy. So there you go. But yes, that was definitely a homeschooling look with a huge yogurt hanging on your top. I hope that I've answered some questions today, but I will be doing this I'm gonna have a look at this Wi-Fi, this connection, and if it's good, then I'm gonna do a 4 o'clock ones. And we're good to go. I think it's important that we have some sort of interactions. I think Instagram has been a great platform for me in terms of, patience. And I think it's a nice way to interact and chat and get to know you guys. And I mean, I have people that I know, but I have followers that I don't know. I don't know who they are. And I love to speak to you and chat with you and interact and just having an adult conversation and interaction. And that way we're all going to survive and get through it, I think. So yeah, and I'm a mom, and nice for me, it's like some sort of everyone. Yes, so I'm going to go. Oh, one last question. What are the skin boosters you used to call? I am in Lake District, so I would have to ask my doctor. I have Profiler. It's very different. Profiler is tricky. You really need to be a good candidate for it. I use Hydromax, but it really depends what you are looking to have done. I would love to chat with you. Maybe you can send me some pictures of your skin or your face, and I will have a look for you. I will definitely advise. Just on my DM me some pictures from front and on the side, and I'll have a look. And also you need to tell me what expectation you want and your previous treatment, and I'm happy to advise. If you're too far away from me, I understand. It's not always doable. Thank you so much, guys. You made it so much easier. You guys are so sweet. Thank you, and I shall see you on Monday. Thank you.